Hey, this is Positive Poker, and
Yann.
for Project Plus, episode 6, we're already at week 3. How are you, Yann? How was the grind on NL2 this week?
I'm fine, thank you. The grind was good. It was good, short but good.
Oh, okay. You already told me you're little bit sick, right? We can hear it from your voice, so appreciate the effort anyways. We keep going. Yeah, let's get right into it. Let's look at the graph real quick. So you played 3 sessions. Results already seem way better, but there's going to be variance in there too. You definitely changed a lot, played a way tighter, right? A
Yes.
huge improvement.
Definitely tighter.
Yeah, some general thoughts on the sessions or how it was?
They were nice. A bit not sad, but the last session was very interesting because I played 3 hours straight on stream.
Uh-huh.
And I was feeling how my A game and my C game were how my A game was moving to the C game in the duration of the session. So
Okay.
this was interesting. Yeah.
This was the long session here, right? 933 hands. Yeah.
Exactly.
How was the graph of the session? Do you have that one?
Yes.
Let's see. You already put it up here.
That was the graph of the session.
All right.
Of the long session.
So yeah, it seems like a good start until, but again, this can be variance too. But then it seems to drop. Also, red line seems to drop a lot. Yeah, but already you got a feeling, so you were not that focused, I guess, right, anymore.
Yeah, I would say for the almost first and a half hours, I was really playing my best A game clearly. Because it was also a day I took off from work. I made some sport in the morning. I was super ready to make a big session.
Awesome, yeah.
So the first and a half hour was super nice. Then I had one hand tilting me insane. And then I started playing B until at the end C game, yeah.
Yeah, that might be a mindset problem, just getting annoyed by a hand and then not being focused, not playing.
It was crazy then, yeah.
Yeah, if you realize that, definitely. Did you realize in-game at that point?
I realized in-game. Also, I wanted to stop a bit earlier, but I felt I need to play just some more few hands until I stop.
Yeah, that's a great point. A new learning here. It's good that you tell me that honest. If we're gonna put that into learnings which we want to focus on. If we realize, no, where do I want to put it? Yeah, here. How do we call this? If we realize we get annoyed, we don't play our A game anymore, or something happened which tilts at us, we wanna quit, or we wanna stop at least, take a break 5-10 minutes. Tilt, how do we call this? Tilt issue? Take a break.
So also for that, I was taking 5 to 10 minutes break each hour.
Each hour
of playing. Yes.
Okay, but
yeah.
When you realized that hand happened, you didn't take the break, right?
No,
right away.
I waited for the next hour to take the break.
Take a break immediately. So we're gonna note that down. If you realize something annoying happened, that can be possible. There's a lot of tilting hands. Just get aware, that's the first thing, and then take a break. Because we know after that our game is gonna be way worse. And that's gonna have a huge impact on our overall win rate. So if we get aware there's something going on, take a break immediately, at least 5 to 10 minutes. We want to have a fresh start. That's super important.
Because usually, no, I took some time, and I realize when I'm starting to, let's say, my mind tells me you're not in the right mindset to play.
Yes.
So,
yes.
Yeah, I realize that, but I do not take a break until the next hour. So
that's good to know. Just we take a break, and that's gonna help.
Yes.
So abbrechen. Okay. That's good to know already. Even though we had a winning session, it could have been better. Another thing here, yeah, we already see a huge improvement. Tides stats seem way better, more tight. This 21-4-17, this seems almost perfect. 8% free bet. This seems really good for NL2 with 5 rake. Already you see how the one at showdown improved. All sessions, this is how you make money on Microstakes. You win at showdown. Because people are not patient enough, people don't fold. You just want to put in money with good hands and win the showdowns. Also, I realized now when I watched in Discord, let me put this up maybe. Ooh, Discord, where is it? By the way, Yann is doing updates here on Discord. Check out his Discord and mine too here. This is awesome. When I was going over this today, I saw how the overall graph, we see here how suddenly, this was the huge shift here, right? Where you started playing way tighter.
Yes.
Suddenly the red line went a bit down because we would not make those bad calls, or not. How do I explain this? Basically, a consequence of us making better folds and playing tighter is red line going down, as we see here. But this helps the blue line and the winnings a lot. Before we were just losing a ton at showdown because we made a lot of bad calls, got into marginal spots. And this way it improved a lot. That's a huge... This is not coincidence anymore. It's so clear here. There was a clear shift. Just because you started playing way tighter and more disciplined. That's great to see here. Again.
And it's also super visual on my tree. So on this week's graph.
Yeah.
Because my red line is almost -2 buy-ins, but the blue one now is +5 buy-ins.
That's perfect. Yeah, definitely check out your Yann's updates on Discord if you're into the challenge. It's awesome. You're doing it really well. All sessions with stats and so on. I want to have it exactly like this. Perfect. And yes, what were we talking about? So yeah, here you see it in the last sessions already. This was last week, right? So
yes.
Red line is losing now, which is completely fine, but we're just making way more at showdown. That's perfect. Yeah, what else? I'm really happy. Definitely great improvement, as I said. One thing, we had some homework. So how was the tagging players? You did, were you effective with that? Tagging people, seeing already who is fun player, who is a regular?
Yes, so multiple things.
Yeah.
First one, I didn't remove all the tags I had because I need to migrate them first to red and green. So if I remove them, I will just lose them.
Yeah.
For now. So basically what I did on these sessions is when I encounter someone which was not red or green for me, I put it on the red category. So if I had some blue or purple guys, they are now just green. And I did the same for nits and regular, they stay red.
Yeah, that's perfect.
This was the case. And for all the new ones, it's directly red or green.
Perfect. We just want to get that to the point where we have tables with red and green players just to know, okay, is this a good table or is it not? Just simple.
Yes.
Perfect. How do you like the system? You think it helped to see is this a good table or not?
For the moment, I don't see so much improvements.
Okay.
I feel just like on some people I lose no information because usually also when I tag them purple, it was also meaning that they are often tilting hard when they lose some pots and they are going crazy on the next hand. And this I don't know how to say. I don't always know. I should then just put a note on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's gonna be the next step. We wanna, if you know someone is tilting hard, put a note, write it in there, tilts hard. And we wanna get into a thinking process where we check, okay, fun player or regular, we have some notes already seeing, okay, I have some, I have none, and then go on with that. As you said, sometimes you would get distracted or so if you just played for table. Considering all those facts, you're gonna have so much stuff to do that you're gonna be focused no matter what.
Yeah.
Some additional thoughts on that?
No. No, I was just meaning that, for example, if this guy loses a hand and then goes all in on the preflop the next round, I would go for sure with almost anything ace-10 suited. I would go for the call because I know he's tilting and he can go with 2-3 off. So
yeah. Okay. If you saw that, if he's so crazy, I would go with that. Sometimes I would be. This is a really hard assumption. You realize you have a lot of those people just going crazy immediately.
I think on all the people I have, I probably have at least 20 guys like this.
Okay, wow, that's
and
surprising.
I saw them before it happened, so yeah, I have at least 20 guys like this.
Yeah, because that's a bit surprising for me. Because the point I want to get to, I would not. That's a really hard adjustment that way. Let's say we know he goes crazy, then it's fine. But sometimes we think in our head, man, this guy is now crazy with any hand, and they always have it still. So we need to be a bit careful. But if you know it, it's perfect. I would be surprised people really going crazy, but that can happen. Maybe on NL2 it's different, yeah. They just don't care about €, and that's it, I guess.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Another general thing I thought now, a lot of people commented, or not a lot of people, some people commented also when I started the Road to Vegas challenge, I would not, maybe it's not the best way to play on NL2 because rake is so high and people are gonna be bad on NL5, NL10 anyways. But the thing is, this is kind of a training ground now for us to prove that we can beat the games. Let's say you think on NL5 we're not beating the game, then it's going to be a roller coaster. But this way, us beating all the stakes consistently, it's going to be also mentally easier to go on and stuff. Especially as we saw, you were not going to beat NL5 at the beginning. Now you learned a lot of stuff, and I think now you're going to beat NL2, definitely, when people go crazy. So that's awesome, yeah.
It's possible. I still make some mistakes, but
yeah, it's still mistakes, but we will fix them, and then we're gonna move up to NL5 because we don't want to have those mistakes on NL5. Otherwise, it's gonna be too much again. Yeah, that's perfect. How do you feel hand reading? You got this into practice?
Yeah, but maybe we will see then on the analysis. I had some issues reading some hands.
Yeah, that's fine. We want to avoid loading pots with marginal hands.
This was better already. Yeah.
Perfect. That's another huge point, which I think we will see in the win rate a lot, improving. Yeah, that should be fine. Then the second homework was to watch the video. You did that, right? Yes. Let me see. It was the NL10. Did you make some notes too on it?
I have the comments just below if you scroll down.
Perfect. Okay.
I had only 3. So I saw the whole video and I was fine with most of it. I understood the reasonings and so on. I just had 3 hands. I was not not agreed, or just I didn't have the right feeling for them.
Let's get into it. That's fine. Why didn't you let him try to raise on the flop? I don't think you're so afraid of it. Okay, let's get perfect with the time.
Limping range.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically here on this hand, I think on my side I would never raise on this flop because I'm not scared of so much things except spade.
Okay, let's see the hand maybe. I can't really remember the hand. Okay, big blinds, we seem standard, fun player, I guess, limping.
Too many.
I should tag him green already, please.
Isolation raise.
I'm happy I do the things I preach now. Nice.
Says, you know.
Okay, we check. Seems standard racing makes no sense. We're just gonna upload a pot with 0 equity. Okay. we flop trips. Tell me again, what's your thoughts?
So my thought is I would just check and let him try to raise, because I block. There's only 110 left. And on the button, he might have some suited, like spades. But when he has them, it might be 6, 7, 7, 8, anything also, because he limps. So at this point, I feel like if I raise, he will fold anyway.
Okay.
If he did not touch the flop. So I would prefer checking and leaving him try to raise. And if he doesn't, then raise on the return. But
yeah, that makes definitely sense. I see your point. Basically, we don't want him to fold, or we don't want him to scare away. Thing is, we have to think about how does our money, where do we make money, how do we generate EV? In my opinion here, this would be a spot to check if we know his crazy aggro bluffing. Every time we check here, he starts bluffing randomly.
Okay.
If that's the assumption, I would be fine with it. I would probably check raise flop then. Just if he has a queen or a draw, he's gonna pay us off. Basically on Microstakes, the thing is we wanna make money by value betting whenever we can. We wanna bloat pots when we have a strong hand, and they're gonna call down with whatever trash they can have.
Okay.
So my reasoning for betting out right away is here, I wanna get value already. I don't wanna lose a street of value. Let's say he has a queen here, queen 5, and we check and he checks back. That's a nightmare, because such a hand would call us down 3 streets.
Okay.
And us checking would lose 1 street of value. So we would bet turn then, bet the river. But comparing the ratio, if you think about it, if we lose 1 street, that's a huge difference, because the pot is so much bigger on the river. And we lose that bet at the end.
Okay, I understand, yes.
Basically, we want to get good at value betting. That's our theme on Microstakes. The money is made by us getting the most value with our good hands.
So at some point, you don't care that he gets afraid and folds at this point directly?
What I'm not worried here, or what I'm worried if we check, people play too passive. He's not going to start bluffing, in my opinion, with random hands. Let's say he has a hand like ace-8. He might even call a bet here on queen 10-10, but he's never going to start bluffing. He's just going to check back. Okay. That's my worry. My worry is people are too passive on average, and that way we lose value once we check flop. That's my main point. Let's see.
Betting a lot if possible. Now we hit trips. Probably his limping range is super wide. We don't block it.
I can see the point. He folded now something random. But let's say he even has a hand like King Jack. That one would 100% call a bet and might check back. So we lose value. And as I said, I'm a bit worried people don't start bluffing randomly. I see your point. Let's say we had a different hand. Let's say we had queen 10 here. I like checking way more, because our hand blocks his queen X a little bit, so we get less calls once we bet. And another thing, his hand, let's say he has a gut shot, are drawing that against us. So we want to hit him those cards, right? And then we get a lot of money in.
Yeah, gut shots and also flushes. So.
Yeah, flushes. But think about if he has a flush draw and we bet, he's calling anyways. And the thing is, let's say he has 6, 7 of spades. He might check that back, take a free turn. That way we lose value again.
Okay.
Both things are reasonable, checking and betting. But what makes me more towards a bet is that people are too passive and don't start bluffing. So in general, we don't want to slow play on Microstakes. That's another thing we want to get into us. Because maybe you see higher stakes and people play balanced all the time. But we don't want to slow play almost ever. We don't want to slow play on Microstakes. We just lose a ton of value in my opinion. We just lose too much value. The thing is, sometimes we want to play tricky. Okay, we do this, as we see in higher stakes, or or it's creative, it's fun. But the thing is, we make money just betting our hands and getting called by worse hands. That's the huge thing on Microstakes. What do you think?
This was interesting because on the HUD I had before with the AF stats.
Okay.
On this exact hand also, if I saw he was super passive, then I would bet. That was a bit. That's the kind of hand I would have checked the HUD to see if he's usually most aggressive or passive.
That makes sense.
It was over 2.5 maybe.
Yeah.
I would have just checked even here.
That definitely makes sense. But again, keep in mind, you need a lot of hands for that to be true. So don't 50 hands are not enough, maybe not even 200. On average, I would just say people are too passive and we want to get value. Also, okay, I like checking then. Let's say he starts betting. I would always raise flop. Don't start. Let's say we want to trap, check, call. Then it goes. A huge thing also here is we're out of position. We lose. He can always check back turn and then we lose a street of value. That's always annoying. So yeah, I just bet here. And if you know he's crazy, let's say we have a read. He has ace-3 here. If we bet, he folds. If we check, he starts betting 3 times the pot. We should always check, right?
Yes.
Or if we check, he goes crazy, bets all street and bluffs every hand. We should always check that way too. Your thought makes sense, as I said, but on general, we don't have those reads, those exact reads. On average, I would say people play too passive and we want to get a lot of value on Microstakes. That's the main theme.
Okay.
Okay, let's see this one.
Pull out some random hands.
Okay. Another thing. 5, 6. No.
I haven't won one hand that shows just to fold out some random hands. Seems like they're all reacting.
5, 6 suited this hand, right? Let me see.
Yes.
I would never have c-bet on this flop. Too connected, nothing to win, just check folding. Okay, let's see the hand. We open cutoff, seems standard.
The blinds, which might be tight enough to make this a good.
Button calls. Already we can imagine not a great spot, out of position we have to play. What would you see as a calling range?
Any ace something, any king something maybe even?
Yeah, suited stuff, I guess. Maybe not ace-3 offsuit, right?
Anything, a bit anything.
One thing we have to see, he's maybe not a fun player. He's full stacked, so we don't know. That makes me think he might not play as crazy. Let's say he has an average range, some pairs, some suited stuff, king, queen, connected, broadways, whatever. I would give him a reasonable range. I would not say it's NL10 anyways, but I would not say he has king 6 offsuit here or ace 7 offsuit. On average. We don't know, but on average against the random.
Good open.
Okay, one thing, ace, queen, queen. What do you think about this flop?
It's horrible.
It's horrible? Tell me why.
Because you don't hit anything.
That's true.
You have 6 and 5, which also removes some 6 and 5 on his side of the button. So he might have just a bit stronger hands.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected and you don't connect at all with the spades also.
True.
And I feel like he's just in average for sure over your hand.
We have a really bad hand here, yeah. 100%. Our hand, we have no equity, we have no outs if he has a better hand. Completely agree. One thing we have to consider, ace, queen, queen, it's not as easy to hit. So my plan for the hand here is, I would assume people play fit or fold here. If he has an ace, okay, we bet once and he calls, we're done. If he has a queen, same. If he has gadgets, that's annoying, king, jack suited, jack 10 suited, it's the same. My theory behind, let's see how much do I bet. I bet small here. I risk 23 cents to win 71. So it does not have to work often. And in my opinion, if he has a random, if he missed completely, he's gonna fold. It's not easy to hit this flop. The one thing, yeah?
So basically you're betting to ensure that he has something or not, And you can safely fold on the turn.
Exactly. The plan for the hand is to bet once here. Hopefully he folds his 8-9 suited, his pocket threes. As you said, it's not great with 5-6. But King Jack would be way better. Way better, a little bit better. Basically, I hope I take it down with a small bet. I risk 23 to win 71, so not a great risk. And if he has nothing, I hope he just folds. It's not easy to make trips. The one thing is the ace is really bad because he's going to have a lot of ace-x, ace-10 offsuit, maybe some suited ace-x. But the plan is just to bet once and then give up. I'm never bluffing turn or river.
Okay.
And I hope we get it through with that.
Small ones just to fold out some random hands. If he calls, we're just going to give up.
Yeah, that's the plan. So I just
might fold, you know.
It's over now.
Yeah, now we're just gonna give up. The only hands which we could see folding are like gutshot, King Jack, King 10, Jack 10,
but our hand is just too bad.
Probably he has a queen, an ace, or some kind of draw.
I would agree already. It's not on super great spot on the flop, but it's a thin one I'll take.
Like
we don't have to.
Like that.
I don't mind check folding flop too. It's not. Basically, as we said, we just want him to fold some completely random hands. Let's say he has 8-9 suited, as I said. But I don't mind check folding. I see your point. It's not the most amazing spot, especially with our hand. We have no out for that. Okay, let's see this one.
And this one was basically the same as the last one, but reversed, finally. Because you have the strong range and you don't hit the flop.
Let's see. We have ace queen offsuit.
You have.
Okay, let me see the comment first. Same as the other one, but reversed. Even though it hits the button range a ton, that's true. You have ace queen after you free bet him from the small blind. He just calls a strong range, no? But flop comes out and you decide not to see bet. Okay, I see your reason. Basically, you're saying with free bet small blind,
right? You can't only try it without.
He opens. Yellow means random. I played with him, but he's not a fun player. Probably not a great rack.
So we're super deep here. I think we're gonna make it.
First thing again, we want to free bet huge here because he gets so much incentivized to call deep in position.
At least 12, maybe even 125.
I'd even go bigger, seriously. I'd make it 1-4 or 1-5 even. Because he can call so much stuff here and we are in an awful spot. Looking back now, would go even bigger.
I just hope.
Okay, he calls. Let's put him on a range. What do you think? What does he...
For my opinion, all the broadways maybe already.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least a huge part of the broadways, all suited at least.
Yeah, I agree. All this stuff, being this deep, he might even call all suited ace-x. Wide range. These pairs, I guess all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Some other stuff, the suited connected stuff. What else? Maybe ace-10, ace-jack off, king-queen off. I'd say something like this. We don't know him exactly. Something like this, I'd say. What do you think? Maybe this?
I agree with that.
Yeah. I don't hope king-jack. Maybe he's yellow. Maybe he calls stuff like that, but I'm not sure. So let's put him on this range. Now we already know. What do we need to think about? What's a good flop for our range? Basically, we have a range... We play a merged range here at free bet for value, this stuff, and that's it. Also, as a general rule, I would just go with this, something like that. I would not mix in bluffs here. I'd just go with value hands.
Okay.
At 11, maybe 15% on higher stakes. On micros, I would not go too wide here. I'd use a range like this. And already we can assume, seeing this range, what's a good flop for us, looking at a range like this one?
Anything that gives us straight, anything that...
What do you mean by anything that gives us straight?
Even Jack 10, Jack King, Jack...
Basically,
I don't know, lots of things I would like to see.
What do you say? Let's put down a flop. Which gives us straight. Let's put down 6, 5, 3. You think that's a good flop?
That gives you a straight.
Okay, that gives us a straight.
King, 9, 10, things like that. Which at some point can...
9, 10?
10, 9... Yeah, I have no clue, but I like almost all... I mean, this kind of flop, 6, 7, 8, I'm not so scared, so...
Let's put...
my ace high.
One thing we need to realize, okay, this is a flop you said, right? This would be good for us. We make a straight here. We have to queen jack.
Yes.
Yes. One thing is, those two ranges comparing, what's the difference between these two ranges? We have these top hands here, he does not, right?
Mm-hmm.
These pairs. One thing is, what's the value of these pairs on different flops? A flop like this, how much is aces worth compared to another flop? We need to realize this is a flop where a lot of things change. So aces is really strong pre-flop, but on this flop, even a hand like pocket sevens is flipping against aces, almost. Right?
Okay.
So this is a flop which puts out so much new equity for whatever he can have. You see, here we have... the ranges are really close now. It's 48 against 52. Because we have all those high hands which completely miss. All the ace king, all the ace queen, all the ace jack, king queen. Right?
Okay.
And that fact puts our range a bit... That doesn't help. Let's say the flop is deuce of clubs, deuce of spades, deuce of hearts. This doesn't change anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means our advantage still remains way ahead.
Okay.
You realize that's having a huge impact.
Okay. Oh, it changes so much on the flop.
This changes so much because a flop like this connected with draws puts the strength of... Let's put a really bad flop. 7 of spades, 6 of spades, 5 of spades or so. Okay, it's almost the same. But a thing like this, let's say we have aces, no spade. That is not way behind, but against a hand like even pocket 8, 1 spade, that hand is ahead.
Okay.
So let's put a flop king, 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 king of spades, king of hearts, king of diamonds. We're way ahead because all those middling hands are still behind against our top pairs or over pairs. What we want to focus on, this part, it needs to be a good flop for this part of our range. King high is really good because we have those ace king, he does not. And aces are still the nuts. You see? That's a great flop for us. Ace X might change a bit, it's still good because we have the ace king, he might not. But we want to have dry flops which don't connect. Those are good for us. Because our advantage here still remains.
Okay.
The thing is, he picks up so much equity on those lower ones. Let's put in now the flop which came. Okay, let's see the hand.
Hope he doesn't 4-bet. That's
7, 6, 8. That's a bad flop for our range compared to his. Just because our high cards don't connect. That's the first thing. And he picks up so much equity with random hands. Not random hands, but with those middling hands. You see, he's even ahead now.
Okay.
That's actually one of the worst flops. I didn't now realize. You see, he's ahead now. His range is ahead against ours in terms of equity. Just because we have sets here. We don't have the 10-9. That's going to make a big difference. But look at his range. No. Look at his range. 7, 6, 8. He has all those middling parts.
Yes.
Which hit really well. Even a hand like 9th is now flipping against our aces. On deuce, 9th is dead against our aces. That's the thing. That's why this is not a great flop for our range.
Okay.
We need to understand when a tight range plays against a middling range, we want to avoid flops where things can. This is how back in the days we called this a draw, a wet flop. You're familiar to that?
Yes.
There's a lot of draws. Things can change. There's a lot of bad turns and stuff. So these are the spots we want to avoid. Give me another. What would be a good flop for us? Give me another one. Give me a wet flop which is good for us.
Ace, Jack, 10 suited?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Ace of spades, Jack of spades, 10 of hearts.
Mm-hmm.
We're way ahead still, because we make straights, we have sets he doesn't have, all his pairs miss. That's a good one. Definitely. I'll give you an...
What for 10-9 Jack?
Jack 10, that's a bit better, I'd say. Yeah, that's a bit better. Because we have the king queen. It's still... The thing is, he has all those connecting things too. Those two pairs. A hand like queen 10 suited on this board against aces has a ton of equity.
Okay.
Just can I freeze this? Yes, I can. Put in a hand queen 10 suited. This is... And no, we just want to do hand against aces here. It's almost flipping. 45%. Put in a hand like that on 10. It has top pair. 10. 6 of hearts. Deuce of diamonds. It's way behind, even though it got top pair. Because it's so dry.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just comparing equities, basically. Put it in on deuce of hearts. Deuce of, how much does it have here? Queen 10 against our aces.
20%?
Sorry, again, please?
20?
Think about it. Which outs does it have?
Ah, no, it has less. It has 12? Something like this.
0.7. Think about it. Think about it. It has 0 outs against our aces.
Yes, cool, yes, of course.
It needs to do runner trips.
Yeah.
That's the crazy difference. Because these hands are dead on such a flop. And on a flop like 10 of hearts, 9 of spades, Jack of diamonds, it's flipping. That's the difference. That's why the deuce is so good for us. Because a lot of hands are just dead completely. And it's for all of these. Let's say 7. The thing is, he can have some 7 here, but it's really few combos. We're still way ahead here. I mean range against range, not hand against hand. It's still really good for us, but the thing is, look at his range. He has some 7x here, a few, which we don't have. And on deuce, he's got none. Unless it's ace deuce suited, exactly.
Okay.
That's the difference here. But this is important, yeah, to realize what's good for us, what's not. Basically, we don't want to see flops connected with draws. One thing, it would be better if it wasn't suited. Because his suited hands, let's say he has a hand king, queen of spades against our aces, has equity, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's 8 of diamonds, 7 of spades, 6 of hearts, it's a bit less because he doesn't have those suited parts in his range. You see, we have more equity here if it was 6 of spades. Now it changes tiny bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or am I missing some? No. Because this way, he has parts of his range, but it's always considering range against range. We have those two. We also have the draws with the ace high and stuff. Basically, when we have a tight range playing against a calling range, we want to avoid connected flops where there's draws and stuff. We want to play a small pot in such a spot.
Super bad flop now.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
This is super bad flop for our range against his range. Yeah, it is.
A super bad flop now. He has all the sets, all the 9-10 suited. We have almost no equity. I think we.
Another thing, our hand has not much. Let's say it would be better if we had a spade to remove his draws a bit more. Then I might consider c-betting. In general, in theory, out of position here, we would check all hands, I would say. Because it's such a bad flop. Even if we had jacks plus, I would check. Because we don't want to... Yeah?
Basically, I was wondering because you were 3-betting on preflop.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought you could maybe just c-bet once, as for the last hand. C-bet once because you seem strong. Maybe with a pair, a pocket pair or something like this. And...
Yeah, that can make sense. But we need some reads, in my opinion, that he's just playing fit or fold. Let's say he has king, queen of hearts, he might fold that. There's going to be some hands which fold definitely. But the problem, as I said, there's a lot of hands which have us here really in a bad shape.
We just have to...
That's the main thing. So it's a marginal spot, I'd say. And let's say the flop was king, deuce, deuce. I would do that. I would see that once and give up if he calls. Because king, deuce, deuce is way harder to hit for him than 6, 7, 8. Right? That's the big difference. Or if it was 8, 6, 6 or something, this is too connected in my opinion.
I would probably check all hands here, even aces, kings and stuff.
Yeah, it's a flop we want to check a lot.
That's a good sign usually. Freeze he could have, but I don't think he would trap a set, I think I'm gonna check again. Ace queen is maybe too strong to bluff here.
The plan is now to get to showdown against hands we beat. If he has ace 10, he might check it down. If he has king queen, same. And if he has a hand like pocket fives, we don't want to get money in it because we're behind and we don't beat that.
I just hope he checks again.
The thing is here, the more here he's inclined to bluff, the worse it gets because he's bluffing us off all the time. If he's really passive, this is a great play. We're gonna realize our EV just by checking down because he's not bluffing enough. We want to see that. You look a bit surprised. You understood the point?
Yes, I understood. It just I did not realize again until you showed me on the
Equilab.
Yes, on Equilab.
Yeah, it's a really bad flop for us. We need to get into our head. What is a good flop? What is a bad flop? That's a concept. These are concepts which when you're good at, you're gonna beat NL10 in my opinion. So this is advanced stuff, but it's simple, basic stuff which we want to get into our head. It's not magic. How do you call it? Incredible, difficult things. Yeah.
ZP.
Again, the thing is here, the less he bluffs, the better this play becomes because we get to showdown against ace 10 and stuff. Now it's annoying. Yeah, it's annoying.
I'm tempted again to raise here because he should.
The thing is, exploit if maybe we can raise here. It's kind of spew because I would expect all good hands to bet flop. So when he checks behind, he has a capped range, let's say. Unless he hit the turn with freeze, I would think people start betting if they have a set on the flop. Or 10-9, because there's draws and stuff. Okay. That's why I'm thinking about just randomly.
Capped,
But we don't wrap much.
But again,
I would just fold.
At the bottom.
We don't need to do this on NL10. We take the simple spots where we make a V. No need to make it crazy. Just play simple solid. That's it.
It would be nice to have at least a gadget or something.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that was it for.
That was it. Thanks, Yann. Appreciate it. All right. No, that's great to see. This was great also for people to watch, in my opinion. I'd say we wrap it up here. We're at 45 minutes for the first episode today. So yeah, another thing I want to come back, I forget. This is great that you have here the weeks. This is awesome to see for people. You implemented this, right, this week?
Yes.
That's awesome for me also to follow. What's the goal for next week? So you're a bit thick, you said, right? So maybe not grind too much.
Maybe I will grind, but maybe not long sessions.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't force it. I also get really exhausted, tired when I play over 90 minutes or so. Maybe just play an hour, maybe less.
Yes.
That's good. A good goal to have. Yes, that should be it for this week. We're gonna do an add-on now. In the next episode, there's gonna be a quick hand review, 10 hands, right?
Yes.
Again, there's gonna be weekly episodes on Thursday and Sunday now. Every Thursday and Sunday, 12 p.m. lunchtime. Is it p.m. or a.m.? a.m. a.m., right? Okay. 12 a.m. lunchtime. And yeah, one thing I noted down here.
Because 0 a.m. is midnight.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
12 p.m. Yeah.
12 p.m. I have no clue. One thing I wrote down here, we want to do a mindset shift because you were really on the loose side before, right? And aggro and bluffing. We want to get into our head that sometimes we want to play, no, not sometimes, all the time we want to play every hand perfect. And a lot of times just folding is the perfect play. This is something we need to get into our head because intuitively we think, okay, I need to create something. I need to play this way, that way. And sometimes just folding a hand like Jack 10 offsuit under the gun is the perfect play. Even though it seems, I fold now, whatever. And all we want to do is play perfectly. Nothing better you can do. That's a great feeling, right? You played it perfect and that's it.
I remember someone told me once, I remember, folding is almost always EV0, I think.
Yeah.
Something like this.
Yeah, exactly. That way, because usually we get rewarded by our brain. Okay, you played this well now, we bluffed the river, great play. But already making simple plays is sometimes the best we can do. Just fold it. And that's next hand, move on. So that's something we want to keep in mind. Already you started being way more disciplined. That's great. Let's shift again once back. We missed the review this week for this one here. It seems fine, right? Session focus seems good. Get disciplined. One we missed here. Big no.
Yes.
What happened there? What was it? Which session?
No clue. Yeah, I have no clue. I did. We will see that on the next video with the
review.
Reviews.
Okay, that's great. So we'll keep it there.
Yes.
Again, thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode. Hands review. Yann, last words.
Yeah. Thanks for following. Thanks also for all the comments.
Yeah.
I have to say I quite like it. And yeah, see you.
That's awesome. We need to give a shout out next time to all the people always supporting and writing good feedback, constructive. That's awesome. Really appreciate you guys. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.
See you in the next one.